Morning, Minecrafters. It is Sunday, 5 November 2023, and we are changing the clocks here in the United States. So, yay. It is 6:36 at the time of this recording. Doing the village twist. I'm thinking about doing some ranging, which is why they call them rangers. Checking the frontier and seeing what we got going on. Have my map ready. We're going to need some food. Got food. We're going to need some weapons. Got weapons. Got weapons. Here we go. And let's grab an extra axe. I'm going to grab a couple doors because we do door thingies. I'm going to grab a bow and some arrows just in case. I had a bucket right there already. Made a cauldron finally. So now we just have to go find some larvae. Let's actually take an extra bucket just for that. And I want to make some doors real quickly. Let's see. 5 times 4 is 20, so I overdid it as usual. I don't need to worry about wood because I got plenty of the wood. Got all the wood. And I think that is going to do me solid for the now. Actually, let's go ahead and grab. Gotta hurry up because tick tock, Gotta get my ass going. Just gonna make another couple picks just because we might find stuff out there we want, like, I don't know, coal. Or, other things. Okay, well, I think that's probably more than enough to do. Oh, torches? We got torches. Okay, so, distance. Let's see where we want to head out. I'm going to say, let's go that way. So, we're going to pop over the fence. And the main goal is to try to find some sand. A nice deposit of sand. There is, wow! Well, it was nearly a Sparta pit. Gotta watch those cliffs. I had a world like this once. It was like right on the edge, right there. It was like these drops. We murdered ourselves most times. All right, so we're gonna go for about half a day out in that direction just to kind of map it up a little bit, see what we got, and then I'll head back. I didn't bring my bed, so I brought shelters just in case I found a cave and I wanted to go exploring it. Trying not to go too far into the woods because I know there won't be any sand in there. So we're just going to go keeping vision on the village, know where we are. Don't worry too much about expending too much stamina. I know they call it a food bar. I like to call it the stamina bar. It makes more thematic sense to me. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Yep, found it. It's off map, of course. Fuck, dude, this world is spread the fuck out. I miss the times when we used to be able to set the world size, That's how I used to do Village Quest back in the old Java days. Set world size to small, one map, and then that way, I was almost sure that there was a village, it would be there, but if it's not, then we don't move on. But I guess it really doesn't make a difference. But you also could set, like, the biome diversity and stuff. You don't get to do that anymore for some reason. At least I haven't found it yet. Like I said, I keep threatening to just spend an afternoon watching YouTubes and reading articles about the current Minecraft. But it's really, there's been, like, so many little changes here and there that I just haven't really been paying attention to them. And that's just an example of how you can limit yourself by just staying with the status quo. But going with what works oftentimes leaves you stagnant and falling behind because eventually the paradigm shift will happen. And lots of people call that a paradigm shift, but really it's not. It's something that's been going on in the background for like a long time, and it's all a culmination of a bunch of little stuff. So the next time somebody says, don't sweat the small stuff, don't listen to that shit. Do pay attention to the sweat. Don't sweat it, but pay attention to it and mind it. because these small changes all go ahead and coalesce finally into one big giant change. And then people who are like, "Oh my God, this just came out of nowhere. We don't even know how this happened." They're the ones who are saying that it's the quote unquote paradigm shift, but it really isn't. It's you know it's just them not wanting to admit that they weren't paying attention to what was happening in the community or in the market around them. Because that's really what it comes down to is you have two facets to society. I know I simplify shit, and reductionism is dangerous, but you have a community and then you have a market. And while the two are interlinked intrinsically and exclusively, I don't can never figure out the terminology there. They depend upon each other. Your community drives the market, and the market influences the community. And if you've got, like, say, for instance, you've got a guitar, okay? Lots of people have tried to play guitars. A lot of people do know how to play guitar. But one of the things you have to remember when you're playing a guitar is that you might, pluck the the E string, but that vibration on that string is going to influence the tone of the other strings, which is why when you tune a guitar, it's good to tune it against itself, when you do the scaling, as opposed to using a digital tuner. Unless you're working with just purely digital devices, then you don't have that resonance, you don't have that feedback or whatever. And a lot of times, it's the same way with markets and communities. For instance, you take a farmer's market, okay? A farmer shows up and he brings apples and he sells out of apples every fucking day. So the potato farmer decides to go ahead and start an orchard and he brings apples. Well, now you got two guys selling apples and they're doing fantastic. And then next thing you know, most everybody is selling apples and then some only selling just apples. And then you get the price wars. Um, and the price wars all come from the community. What you charge for your apples so you can sell those apples is dependent upon what the market will bear, but it's really what the community is deciding is a decent price. And the more people that sell apples, the cheaper apples are supposed to become. This is capitalism. It's not always working. Late stage capitalism, like you hear so many people throw that word around, I myself don't even fully understand what's the difference because it's all crap from the very start. I mean, capitalism is capitalism. No market model is ever going to be foolproof. And I think that's the problem is that you're not willing to change. Wow, that was much closer than I thought it would be. Jeez. So just head out into the opens. Um, Chances are over here there's going to be. So like I said, I know that's going to take me a half a day to get back, regardless of how far I go at this rate. So we're going to go ahead and just go until a half a day. Like I said, just doing some ranging. I know there's some sand over here, but not much. Kind of didn't want to sap this out. Exploring the edges of the map, almost fell to my ass death. That would have ended my quest, my village quest. I know I don't have enough sand to even make remotely the amount of glass that I want to make. I made a cartographer, and he's got, oh, we got another village? No, it's just a really nicely shaped hill. There's our lava. Lava. Okay, it looks like it's a single source block, though. And it looks like it's off map. Alright. Guess I could try to go ahead and get a horse. I have a donkey. Slow as fuck. Yeah, that looks like a single source block. I don't really want to do that. That's on the map that I came from, I think. That the game started on. Ooh, gotta really be careful. Why am I moving so slow? You ever notice that? How some days it feels like your character's just racing like a rabbit, and the other days it's like just trudging, in spite of the fact you know you're running because you're burning stamina. Oh well. Did what I came out here to do. Get sand. Might have like about 2 or 3 stacks. I haven't really checked. Do 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 do. So I'm probably thinking about expanding the perimeter of the village. Kind of don't want to get up on that hill. So yeah, mind the small stuff. Don't let it pester you, but do realize that every little thing counts. Oh yeah, cool. One, two, three, four stacks of sand. Okay, so Uh, we are going to be feeding a cartographer. So it should be nighttime now. Come on, come on. Oh my god, for real. I kind of like this setup. We have the upper building. I know spiders can get in, but I mean, I haven't had that happen yet. Um, I've been doing a really good job of trying to get my character to sleep before a full night. 'Cause I didn't want, unless I, start farming for like things like bones and rotten flesh, rotten meat. What do they call it? Rotten flesh. Yeah. So before I start farming for stuff like that, but I don't want to start doing that until everything goes. Rah, 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 rah. Should probably learn to make a hopper. So I'm going to start optimizing my crafting time. Huh. Oh, did I not click on this? There we go. Oh, la, 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 la. Yeah, 5 iron in a chest to make a hopper. That's going to be important because eventually I'm going to have to add a hopper here and a hopper down here so that I can automate this a little bit more. The automators are going to be fucking amazing fun. Okay, so the next range is going to take me into the woods, and that's not something I really care to do right now. So we're just going to be hanging here for a while. Let's go get some tree stuff done. Oopsie. I don't need this in my hands. Oh, right. I did that, didn't I? Well, I might as well take this stuff out because it's not going anywhere. God, it was making me laugh the other day, talking about how flat roofers, like flat earthers. God, I love it. I love the idea. I do. I find it intriguing. And I don't know. I think that it's human nature to be contradictory to the norm. You know, I mean, if we didn't have that trait kind of hardwired into our brains, we probably would be stuck. You know, in the past and never really thinking about progressing. Um, because human progression is just kind of a thing we do. It's our it's in our nature to want to improve all the time, and it's hard to believe that we've been more or less the same for about, oh god, 12,000 years almost now. I mean, technology wise, there's been vast improvements. Our tools have gotten way better, but I think our techniques and our ability to teach them really kind of isn't. We like to say that we live in a information age, but for all the accessibility that we have for information, it does it's that little adage about how you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. Um, And again, this is all relevant to me talking earlier about how I need to sit down for that afternoon and just pour over all the media that I can find on the current Minecraft model and just, pick up on some tips and tricks, maybe do some, do something crazy with the information. I'm sure there's lots of things out there that I can do to improve my gameplay. I don't, like I said, but mostly, I mean, I don't play Minecraft for that reason. I'm not looking to take on any competitions or anything like that. I don't even know if there's that'll be something else to look up. Are there Minecraft competitions? Sure, there are. Again, like I said, human beings are by nature, rebellious and exploratory and curious, but we're also very competitive. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just how you temper that, um, how do you make that competitive nature a benefit to as many people around you. Because if it's just for self-serving ego, that's selfish, and it's not gonna be of any value to anybody. And eventually, believe it or not, you'll end up being the one exploited. Somebody will see that competitive nature and leverage it against the rest of the community or market for their own gain. And I do believe that is a lot of the problem with late stage economies, whether they're capitalist or whatever, is that eventually, you know, as a lot of elites will say, the cream rises. But really, what it does is that the cream realizes, hey, if I do a thing, I can prompt these people to compete with each other, and then I can exploit that divisionism, that tribalism, and get what I want out of both markets instead of just, or both competitors, instead of just, seeing the market grow, keeping it the same so that I can benefit from a constant harvest. Farming, basically. So you got the hunter-gatherers and you got the farmers and ranchers. Although, if you think about the practice of, is it ranching? I don't know what it's called when you drive cattle. When you think about that practice, it does lend itself quite a lot to a nomadic behavior because you have to take your cattle where the grass is growing, where there's food for them. If you're free ranging, as opposed to just like boxing everybody up into a little pen and just the cows are always home. This is only because when I go to start harvesting them, killing them off to get their hide and their meat, I want to make sure that I don't end up smacking a villager. Why do I have dirt in my... Oh, because I took out those things. Yeah. Let's go put this somewhere else. Let's see, what do we have? Near evening. Okay. I don't know about that. Don't really need to grow too much. I don't want to put too many trees outside the fence line to encourage mobs. At the same time, I don't want any risk happening inside either. Okay, so cartographer could use this stuff too, I think. But glass is the fastest. Damn, grows like a weed over here. It's good soil. Okay, okay. That's still early still. Alright, Alright, so I'm going to throw all this stuff into the box. Just have to remember to keep a ladder with me from now on so that I can look for, when I find good pieces of lava, good sets of lava. I thought I already, never mind. When I get a couple of stacks, I'll go for it. Almost ready. Yeah, as long as this doesn't seem to be a problem, I think I might go ahead and just leave them like this. Like I said, this way, if I do end up staying late and monsters are nearby, at least then I can shoot something. I don't know. There was a long time that I had doors. I would use oak doors or acacia doors. I mean, yeah, acacia doors because they had that grill on them. And I would use that. And I think he takes glass panes. I don't know. We got a lot here, so we can make 16. I don't know. I guess it would probably. It's just 6, 12. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 36. No, not that one. That's 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 30. 30. Yeah, I could do it. I see. I'm doing it again. I'm just kind of getting. Oh, now there's monsters nearby. See what I mean? There we go. Let's go run a system here. Let's see what we can test this out. Let's get some arrows. Get up on the roof. Is it a skeleton? Well, what's the monster? Shouldn't be anything inside the village. The golem should be doing stuff too. Alright, let's see if we. Excuse me. Alright. How many cookers? A lot. Oh, there was a zombie villager. Not one of mine. Oh, spider. Get out of the way. Yeah, I think I might go ahead. I don't see any creepers. Cats are supposed to hold off creep. I remember when we found out about ocelots scaring off creepers. That was like a thing, taming an ocelot. It was like one of our big goals. All right, well, I think we're going to wrap this for the day. Got some things to take care of before the morning creeps away. Uh, barely have anything to trade to the priest, but that's all right. All right, well, thanks for stopping by.